Hi guys, welcome to Jungly Jade. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my ficus collection and also talk about some care tips and things that I've learned along the way. Ficus is a very vast genus. It has a lot of plants that come within this family. I have two categories of plants from ficus. So I have the Ficus Elastica, which is also known as the rubber tree. And I have the Ficus Lyrata, which is known as the Fiddle-Leaf fig. And within these also there are a lot of variegations. So let's just get started. So first up, we have this plant here, which is the Fiddle-Leaf fig, Ficus Lyrata, and this is a Bambino version. I think most of our plants did not come with ID, so I'm not always 100% sure, but this is a smaller dwarf form of Ficus Lyrata. And this is the ficus that actually gives you the figs, the fruit that we can eat. So now let's move on to the Ficus Elastica category, which is the one from which I have the most amount of plants. I mean, this is also the one that I got first. And yeah, so let's get started in no particular order. So first up, I have this Ficus Robusta right here. And sadly, this plant has not been doing very well as of late. So I have had this plant for quite a few months, and as the name suggests, it is quite robust when it comes to growth, and it was doing really well for me. Unfortunately, I'm not even able to find any photos of it from before, but this plant recently got infested with the spider mites. And previously it had mealybugs also, but not so bad. But yeah, it just could not make it. Like, I didn't know what to do, what was wrong, and I ended up overwatering it also, and it got a little bit mushy. So I had no choice but to propagate it. I am propagating this with my money plant because money plant just helps plants in rooting faster. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's hope this plant bounces back because it's so beautiful. I really love Ficus Elastica foliage, and this looks really nice with other colorful plants. So I used to style this with my Syngonium pink illusion when I was living somewhere else, and now since the move it has been quite a bit of a challenge. But yeah, moving on, which is also something that you need to know about ficus, that they do not like to move around a lot. You have to really make sure that they acclimate where you're keeping them. So the humidity should be nice, and they should have a well-draining pot, and you know, they're very dramatic when it comes to care. So you have to be really careful because a really good plant can start dropping leaves like this. Then next up we have another Ficus Elastica, and this one I think is Abidjan. I'm not sure because, like I said, most of my plants do not come labeled, but I think it is Abidjan based on whatever I've seen online. So it has this maroon veining at the back, and it has darker leaf than Robusta. I can show it to you guys side by side. Like, they look similar, but this one just has darker foliage. And I like ficus with darker foliage. I've been trying to get my hands on Ficus Elastica Burgundy, but I have just not been able to spot it here in Germany. Like, I have seen a lot of those in Pakistan, but I haven't found one yet in Germany. I'm sure it's available, but just I haven't seen it. This is one of those plants that you would see in interior designing magazines and videos because it's just so beautiful, and it can perk up a dull space really nicely and looks very modern also. Next up we have my Ficus Ruby. So this is a variegated version of Ficus Elastica, and this comes in a few different varieties. So there is Ficus Tinicky also, but mine is ruby. I'll insert some pictures because mine is not that pink, or you can say ruby, at the moment. It needs a lot of sunlight, and the winter months have been tough, but if you can see, the older foliage does hold on to that pink dark color. And yeah, this plant is now doing well for me. It has had its rough times also. Like it was a really full plant, it dropped a lot of its leaves. Again, this is what I realized, that it doesn't like being moved around too much, doesn't like being watered too much. So Elastica is better with soil going a little bit more on the drier side, but with Lyrata you have to make sure that it's not too dry, but it's also sufficiently dry, because otherwise it'll end up in root rot. So this again is a really beautiful plant. Now the thing is, again, my plant comes with no ID, so I have no idea also that if it's ruby or tricolor, or if tricolor and ruby are the same. I tried looking it up a lot online and I haven't been able to find much information, so if you guys know, please help me out. I'm pretty sure this is ruby, and I've seen people using tricolor and ruby interchangeably. So yeah, last but not the least, this is the latest addition in my collection. Last time I did a plant haul video and I got this plant after that. So this is like the newest plant in my collection at the moment, and this is a Ficus Shivereana, aka Moonshine. This plant has been on my wish list for like ages, and I just could not believe my luck when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, really? And this, as you can see, is quite a well-established plant. It also has another baby plant coming out on the side, and this plant was only for 10 bucks from Agriflora in Gulish, which is, by the way, the best garden center I have ever found. Like, I've been to a lot of different ones here in Aachen now, and I would say Agriflora offers the best prices, and you get really like nice varieties also. Like every week they have new plants in their rotation, also a lot of rare plants. And now, like, I know this plant a few years back was very sought after. Even now it's a beautiful one to have, but I couldn't believe that I would still be able to get it for just 10 bucks, because even now a small cutting from this plant would sell for easily 20 bucks or so. So it was really amusing that, you know, I got this. And I just really love its light foliage with all the variegation. I have a plastic bag underneath it because I need to get a new cover pot for it, or at least a tray. I don't have any at the moment. I'm really low on supplies, so please ignore that. But yeah, look at how beautiful this plant is. So these are all the ficus varieties that I have on me at the moment. And what I would like to tell you guys now is a little bit more about them. So I already talked about watering, lighting. So yeah, it's nice if you keep them in a bright sunny spot, especially if you're growing them indoors. Make sure that they are getting a good amount of sunlight. When it comes to watering, again, you have to really make sure to strike that balance. It is a trial and error part for the most part, but I would say that the variegated versions need a little bit more care, and also the Ficus Lyrata. But the darker foliage ones are fine, like they would be all right, not too bad with the Robusta and Abidjan. And when it comes to fertilizing, then I would say that fertilize them during the summer months, the spring, cut down on it during winters, because ficus like to hibernate. And yeah, that's why during winters you wouldn't see them growing much. And I think that's why mine was also dropping more leaves than usual. In fact, this plant also was pretty full when I got it, and it was doing really well until winters. And then it just started dropping all its leaves, but now I see a lot of new growth popping in, so that's really nice. This leaf is just a week old, less maybe, so I'm really happy that, you know, it bounced back for me. And generally ficus like having higher humidity, so make sure that, you know, you are providing them with that, otherwise they can be very dramatic. And I think that's it. These plants are susceptible to pests. Luckily, this plant, I don't know how it survived the mealybug as well as the spider mite attack, because it was really close to my infested plants all this time. And luckily it did not get anything, so I'm really happy, because I have seen people's plants being like infested really badly with spider mites, like this ficus in particular. But I also do have pesticide sticks in the soil, so maybe that helped. But yeah, this one has been doing good. Only I think my Robusta got affected really badly. Abidjan had a little bit of spider mites, but I caught them fast enough. And I think it only got it because it was in close proximity with my Robusta. This Shivereana is brand new, so it doesn't have anything. And my Lyrata also did not get anything. I think when I was having a mealybug outbreak, I think maybe I saw one on it or something. I don't remember, but I was really paranoid, and I was like cleaning my plants and checking my plants every single day when that happened. So luckily not too bad, nothing too bad. Okay, that's everything from my side. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys again next Sunday. Bye.